Hi everybody, welcome to day 4 of Soul Pilates. When you're ready, we'll just ground ourselves, center ourselves, palms face up, make yourself comfortable, tap into the strength in the center of your body and sit nice and tall. Invite your mind and your body to relax. Notice the sensations throughout your body. Draw your attention to how your breath feels, to your hips anchoring against the ground. It's easy to get to that place where we only do the things that we're already good at doing. I love that place, but it's not good for me. Vulnerability sounds like truth and feels like courage. What we know matters, but who we are matters more. I don't have to chase extraordinary moments to find happiness. It's right in front of me if I'm paying attention and practicing gratitude. You can give yourself a moment to rest. Bring your attention inside your body and we'll get started with our Pilates setup. So we have hip width the size of 2 fists between your feet and your knees. Your shoe size roughly heels to glutes, and you can roll your back down onto the mat. Check in with your pelvis position, imprint your spine onto the mat and arch the back. Roll your back into the mat and arch, creating space. Find the center of these 2 pelvic tilts for your neutral pelvis, that gentle natural curve in the lower back. Tailbone is heavy and we refrain from flaring the rib cage, so your lower ribs are heavy also, with that little neutral space in between. The hands can cup the outsides of your rib cage. With your inhale, you target the back and side of the ribs, opening out like an accordion. Exhale, you draw the ribs in and down towards your hips. So we'll do 3 of those breaths together. When you're ready, hands by the sides, reach your hands towards the end of the mat, shoulders back, lower ribs down, gentle chin nod. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, find the front and back of your pelvic floor, holding in wind, holding in P. Scoop the belly and trace up along your back and knit your ribs in and down. Breathe into the side of your ribs. Exhale, find your pelvic floor, scoop your belly and knit your ribs. Breathe in and open the ribs out. Exhale, find the pelvic floor, scoop your belly and knit your ribs. Connect to the midline. Centering is a Pilates principle. It will help us to ground, it will help us to brace, it will help us to protect the center of the body and move more easily with our arms and our legs and the weight of our head. Take a breath in. With your exhale, switch on the center of your body. Lift your right knee into tabletop. Tailbone heavy, lower ribs heavy, shoulders back. Use your armpits to draw the arms down the sides of the body, reaching your fingers towards the end of the mat. So you connect to all of that setup, all of those bony landmarks at the back of our body, and we really connect to the center work, pelvic floor, abs, ribs, and lift the second knee. So see how much detail there is, how much precision there is. Knees and ankles together. We focus fully, we're completely immersed and connected, that mind-body connection. With the moves, we breathe deeply and we connect with the spirit as well, mind, body, spirit. So we're just going to start off with toe taps. You keep your pelvis stable and awareness on the lower ribs staying down. So see, as I toe tap, the middle of my back is glued to the mat, just in case we disconnect. So you exhale, tap the right toes. Inhale, lift, your knees and ankles touch. So it's like the legs are sliding off each other and then sliding back together again. Exhale and inhale. Pelvis steady, lower ribs steady. Exhale and inhale. We embrace and lean into vulnerability today. Vulnerability is defined as uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. Every act of courage also involves uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. Knees and ankles together, float your hands and reach your arms across the room. The armpits draw down towards your front pockets. Exhale, pelvic floor, abs, ribs, tailbone heavy, lower ribs heavy. Scoop the belly and head, neck and shoulders lift forward. The chest is proud, lower ribs are down, tailbone is heavy, a little slack in between. Squeeze the knees and ankles together. You're going to inhale 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. If you like, your feet can be on the mat. You keep reaching across the room so all the work comes into the center and you relax your neck. Anytime you're not sure, take a break, take a breather and come back when you're ready. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Our affirmation is, my vulnerability is courageous. My vulnerability is courageous. My vulnerability is courageous. My vulnerability is courageous. When you're ready, hands behind the head. Just in case any tension crept into the neck, relax it out. Scoop your belly, knit your ribs, lower the left foot down, feel the weight of that leg. Scoop the belly, lower the right foot down. Move your feet further down the mat, but your toes are still in contact with the mat. Drag your heels towards you, so grip the mat and drag it towards you. You feel the back of the legs switching on. Open the elbows wide, scoop your belly, knit your ribs and come forward. We've lengthened the chest. Maintain this feeling of the abs working really hard. You're not cramming your back into the mat, so tailbone heavy, lower ribs heavy, chest forward, and now release the arms. Inhale, arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, scoop the belly, use the abs to lower the arms down. As if there's weights attached to your wrists, or as if you're moving through water here, push that water down, it's heavy. Inhale and exhale. Courage and vulnerability both involve uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. My vulnerability is courageous. My vulnerability is courageous. Hands behind the head, give the weight away. Slide the heels a bit closer, your abs are still switching on. Relax your neck and come back anytime you need. Scoop your belly, knit your ribs. Exhale, bring the right knee in towards the left elbow without cramming your back into the mat, and then lower down. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, and inhale, open up. But here, we don't flare the ribs and we don't rock the hips. So apart from that, you can move through this side to side movement. But see how when I come back, even though I'm looking up to the ceiling, I'm not flaring the rib cage. So there's our connection. Exhale, inhale, toes point at a diagonal towards the ceiling, and inhale. What you think of yourself is so much more important than what others think of you. Our affirmations: I do enough, I have enough, I am enough. I do enough, I have enough, I am enough. I do enough, I have enough, I am enough. Back to the center, lower the shoulders down, release the hands, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Press into the feet, big toes, little toes and heels. Use your lower abs and push your back into imprint, peeling your pelvis, your lower spine, your mid-spine, one vertebra at a time. Reach your knees across the room and tuck the tailbone slightly so there's very little weight in the head and shoulders and neck here. Really put your focus down into the feet, tucking the tailbone. You feel your glutes. There's very little weight in the head, neck and shoulders here. Relax your shoulders just so you're not reaching too much. Your shoulders are relaxed against the mat. Put all of your attention into your big toe, your little toe, and your heels. Make sure the knees are not splaying out, so it's like you're holding a beach ball between the knees. Tuck your tailbone, and we're going to breathe here. The spine is neutral. You breathe the ribs out to the sides. You exhale and zip up through the center. I do enough. I have enough. I am enough. I do enough. I have enough. I am enough. When you're ready, you bring your hands by the sides. Think about your position. Think about where that strength is going into the feet. With the inhale, you're going to roll your back down one vertebra at a time and reach your arms to the ceiling. With the exhale, you're going to roll your spine up one vertebra at a time and the hands go down by the sides. Open your chest, put the focus in your feet so there's no weight on your neck. Inhale, exhale. Belonging is not something we negotiate with the external world. It's something we carry in our hearts. In our hearts, we have the ability to be a part of a community, but also the courage to stand alone. My vulnerability is courageous. My vulnerability is courageous. I do enough. I have enough. I am enough. Take a breath in. Exhale to melt down upper spine, mid spine, lower spine, and release. We really feel the glutes. We're going to stick with a bit of glute work. You can hug your knees in, roll it forward. You can go to one side with the knees if you like, or cross your ankles over and come through, whatever suits you better. Knees are underneath the hips with the size of 2 fists between your knees, hands underneath the shoulders. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Check your neck position, so there's no pinched skin in the back of the neck, you're looking straight down. Check your shoulder blade position, sliding together and apart, sliding together and apart, and finding the center for neutral. Check your pelvis position, tilt up and down, and find the center for neutral. Reach forward through the crown of the head, feel that energy, lengthening the neck, draw the shoulders down. Armpits draw down, you soften the elbows. Reach back through the tailbone, feel that energy. Feel the opposition, forwards and backwards. Breathe into the side of your ribs. With your exhale, find your pelvic floor, scoop your belly and knit your ribs. It'll help you to keep that position and corset the spine. When you're ready, you're going to lengthen your left leg out behind you. Scoop the belly and knit the ribs. We're going to make sure that we keep a stick up along the spine, so we're nice and neutral. You're going to inhale to tap, exhale to lift. Then we're going to inhale to tap across the body, exhale to lift. You stretch backwards so the weight goes out of the hands. Then you inhale to tap the outside of the mat and exhale. We don't want to side bend and we don't want to arch and extend the back. So you keep your spine long, feel front, back and sides of the body, scoop through the center and work from your bum muscles, work from the hip and keep stretching. So we inhale and exhale. Inhale, cross, exhale, center. Inhale to the outside, exhale, center. Finding gratitude for vulnerability and also courage as one and the same. The most powerful teaching moments are those where you screw up. The most powerful teaching moments are those where you screw up. The most powerful teaching moments are those where you screw up. I don't have to chase extraordinary moments to find happiness. It's right in front of me if I'm paying attention and practicing gratitude. I do enough. I have enough. I am enough. I do enough. I have enough. I am enough. And you can bring it in. Get your setup, it'll feel a bit different because our muscles were stabilizing on one side there. Get your brain into the center, pelvic floor, abs, ribs, soften the elbows, stretch back through the right leg, reach through your ankle as if someone's pulling on the ankle. That sense of length backwards will relax your hands. Inhale to tap, exhale to lift, scoop the belly, knit the ribs as you lift. Inhale to cross the body, exhale to lift and stretch backwards. Inhale to the outside, exhale to the center and stretch backwards. Practicing gratitude invites joy into our lives. It's not joy that makes us grateful, it's gratitude that makes us joyful. Fill in the blanks in your own mind. I am grateful for. 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 And you can come back to the center. You can come onto the elbows if that suits you, to take that bone bearing out of the wrists. If it suits your knees, you can sit back fully into a shell pose and crawl the fingers forward. If you'd like to release your shoulders, you can flip your palms up to the ceiling. Try and get your palms parallel to the ceiling and turn out and back with the thumbs as far as possible. See if you can get the elbows down and your chest closer to the ground, but you can reverse that if it suits your shoulders and your wrists more. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Once more, breathe in fully. Exhale, let everything go. And you can untangle the arms. We're going to come to a side lying position. If you'd like to mirror me, I'm going to start on my right side, so you could be on your left side. We're going to do both sides, so it doesn't matter which side you start on. Your hand can be behind your head, or you can lie down flat, whatever suits you better. And we're going to bend our knees straight out from the hips, so we have a nice 90-degree angle behind the knees and at the hip. Relax the shoulders, lengthen your neck, press down into the bottom leg so your ankle, knee, hip are glued to the ground. We're going to inhale just to open the leg out like a dog peeing on a bin, and exhale. If your knee slides backwards, we've lost the stacking of our hips, so every time you come back, you want the knees on top of each other. Your hand can stay on the hip or it can stay in front, whatever suits you better for feedback or balance. So we inhale and exhale. We don't have to chase the extraordinary to find happiness. Joy comes to us in ordinary moments. Joy comes to us in ordinary moments. Now heels together and just lift the knee and then lower. We're really getting into the glutes. Inhale and exhale. Joy comes to us in ordinary moments. Joy comes to us in ordinary moments. So now we'll add on to that. We inhale to float, exhale, push through the heel. Point your toes and bring it back in. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. I don't have to chase the extraordinary moments to find happiness. It's right in front of me if I'm paying attention and practicing gratitude. Joy comes to us in ordinary moments. Joy comes to us in ordinary moments. And let that go. It builds up so quickly in those deep muscles, so we can really feel our stabilizers working. Second side, whenever you're ready. So you can take your time swapping sides, and you can always lie down flat with the upper body if you prefer, bending our knees out from our hips, pressing into the bottom ankle, knee, hip, keeping that bottom leg glued to the floor, and remembering that every time we come back, the knees stack, so then we know our hips are staying stacked, and you can choose your hand position. Inhale, dog peeing on a bin, and exhale to lower. Courage is asking for what you need, setting boundaries, and owning your story.
Courage is asking for what you need, setting boundaries, and owning your story.
Heels together, bring the top knee up and lower down. Really get into the small muscles, feel our glutes working, and the knees stack on top of each other.
Courage is asking for what you need, setting boundaries, and owning your story. Courage is asking for what you need, setting boundaries, and owning your story.
Now we'll add on. Inhale, exhale, push through the heel, point your toes, inhale to draw it back in, and exhale down. So we have 4 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale.
I choose courage over comfort. I choose what's right over what's fun, fast, and easy. I choose courage over comfort. I choose what's right over what's fun, fast, and easy. I choose courage over comfort. I choose what's right over what's fun, fast, and easy.
And you can relax it out of the side of your hip. Whenever you're ready, we'll come up to seated again. You can take your time coming into this position. You can cross the ankles over if that suits your hips, your knees, and your ankles. You could adjust one knee if that suits the knee position better, or you can sit into mermaid. So for example, your right knee is out, so there's an external hip rotation. The left knee is in, so there's an internal hip rotation. And see how that feels. It's normal that one hip finds it harder to get down to the ground, but just allow that weight down and try and plant your pelvis towards the ground. And if it's uncomfortable again, modify it to one of our other options. Otherwise, we've got our mermaid position. Reach the arms out, stretch through your fingers, your wrists, your elbows, and your shoulders like a Mr. Stretch doll in 2 different directions. Get your brain into the front and the back of your pelvic floor, scoop your belly, knit your ribs, armpits down, lengthen through the neck. Mind-body connection. Fingertips are being pulled apart in 2 different directions. Armpits down. Anchor your pelvis. Lift through the entire spine, strong and long. Armpits down, lengthen the neck. Left palm up to the ceiling. Keep your brain in your left wrist. Exhale over towards the right. Very little weight into the right fingertips. It's up to you if you bend your elbow and go further. See how it feels? Hopefully the hips stay grounded as much as possible and never tug too much on your rib cage. Inhale nice and tall, mind-body connection, anchor the hips, feel that long line, armpits down, stretch apart through the fingertips, lengthen your neck. Now, right palm up to the ceiling, exhale over, keep your brain in that right wrist, and it's up to you how far into the side bend you go. Inhale nice and tall, connect to your breath, exhale, inhale.
Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome.
Back to the center, relax your shoulders, relax your hips. If you chose to cross the ankles, swap your cross. It may feel a bit wobbly for a while at the start, but it will help to balance your hips. If you're adjusting one knee because that feels better, you can do this exercise with the knee adjusted, or you can sit into your mermaid stretch position, your mermaid seat, anchor down with the hips. Feel your pelvis heavy grow through the rest of the spine. Get your brain into the front and back of the pelvic floor, holding in P, holding in wind. Scoop your belly, knit your ribs, armpits down, stretch apart, lengthen and soften the neck. Reach through the crown of the head. Right palm up. Keep your brain in your right wrist, up and over. Remember all the detail. Anchoring your hips down. Inhale nice and tall. Relax the shoulders while lengthening and strengthening the center. We always have that strength and length together. Swap the palms. Exhale over. Are your hips steady? Can you anchor down while you find that long line? Exhale. Inhale.
Daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves even when we risk disappointing others. Daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves even when we risk disappointing others. Daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves even when we risk disappointing others. Daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves even when we risk disappointing others.
And you can come back to the center. Relax it out of your shoulders, relax it out of your hips. Take all the time you need. We're going to bring our legs in front and you have a bit more space. At the start of the class, we looked for that shoe size heels to glutes. Now the feet are going to go further forward. Relax the shoulders. Make sure you're not spreading your shoulder blades too far, closing the chest. Feel the opposite of that. We make sure we're not squeezing the shoulder blades together. We feel some nice length in the chest. You find the center and then open out so there's length across the collarbone so your elbows bend ever so slightly. Get your brain into the front and the back of your pelvic floor, holding in P, holding in wind. Scoop your belly, tracing up along your back and knit your ribs in and down. Feel as if there's a wall behind your back when you do that. Pelvic floor, abs, ribs. There's length in the back of the neck, so there's a slight chin nod, armpits down. Breathe into the side of your rib cage. With your exhale, find your pelvic floor, scoop the belly. You're going to tuck the tailbone under, so we'll move through that wall. Knit your ribs in and down. So you want to feel your heels pulling towards you. It's not a big C shape. It's that scooping, knitting the ribs and tucking the tailbone under. So see the difference here with the center of my body. Here it can look kind of similar and you can go through the movement, but you're not connected and we're not necessarily supported. So find your pelvic floor, scoop your belly, knit your ribs. That's very detailed, very mind-body connection. Front of the body through the back of the body. So we actually lengthen the front and the back. Instead of stretching our back and shortening our front and separating the front from the back, scoop the belly. It's easier from seated. Scoop the belly, knit the ribs, tuck the tailbone under. Loads of detail for a small looking movement. We feel it. We feel really connected. We inhale to the side of the ribs and exhale to come forward. Inhale to roll and stack. Exhale, scoop, knit the ribs, tuck the tailbone. Only go as far as you're comfortable with. Inhale to the side of the ribs. Exhale, scoop your belly, drag your heels towards you. Inhale, roll and stack.
Connection is why we're here. It gives us meaning. I connect to myself to connect to others. In order for connection to happen, we have to allow ourselves to be seen, and that takes courage. I connect to myself to connect to others. I connect to myself to connect to others. I connect to myself to connect to others.
And sit nice and tall. Anchor down with the hips, scoop the belly, knit the ribs, relax your armpits down the sides of the body. You're going to open the right arm out to the side, feel the stretch in the chest, and then follow with the mid-spine. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, you're opening the left hand out to the side. Feel the stretch in the chest first, and then you get tall and move through the mid-spine. Inhale to the center. Exhale. Inhale. Sit taller every time you come back to the center. Exhale. Inhale. Bring your full awareness to this movement.
The Latin word cur means heart. Courage means to tell the story of who you are with your full heart. I have the courage to be kind to myself first and then to others. The courage to be kind to myself first and then to others. The courage to be kind to myself first and then to others.
And back to the center. You can repeat that if you like, take a break with your shoulders if you like, or one last move from this position. Scoop the belly, exhale, roll back, just reach the right arm just slightly and just a slight C curve. Inhale, come back to the center, lead with your chest, anchor down with the hips and knit your ribs together. Exhale, scoop through the belly, left arm. Inhale, lift up with the crown of the head with your breastbone. Exhale, scoop.
Courage means to tell the story of who you are with your whole heart. The courage to be imperfect. The courage to be kind to yourself first and then to others. The courage to let go of who you think you should be in order to be who you are. The courage to be imperfect. The courage to be imperfect. The courage to be imperfect.
And you can let it go. Maybe you want to relax it out of the front of your hips, see how that feels. Maybe you want to take a moment to relax it out of your shoulders, whatever suits you. We're going to allow this length into the back of the legs. If it annoys your back in this seated position, you can bend your knees again. Otherwise, we're going to stretch forward with the legs, reach the arms in front. Inhale, scoop the belly out and just stretch out everything we were using there that was more open in space. Anchor down through the legs. Exhale, roll and stack the spine and relax your shoulders. Inhale to scoop and reach. Exhale, roll and stack. And you can adjust by putting a gentle bend into the knees if you want to. Inhale and exhale.
The courage to let go of who you think you should be in order to be who you are. The courage to let go of who you think you should be in order to be who you are.
And you can relax your shoulders. You can go to one side with the legs if you like, or you can cross your ankles over and come through, whatever suits the hips. You're coming all the way down onto the belly, and again, take your time meeting me in this position. You're reaching back through the ankles, through the knees, as if your legs are trying to leave the hips, and then you can gently place the front of your feet onto the mat. Lower the upper body, interlock your fingers on your lower back, and relax your elbows. Open up your chest so the shoulders draw down the back. You get that stretch across the chest and the upper back. There's no pinched skin in the back of the neck, so you're looking straight down. Energy reaching forward through the crown of the head. Tuck your tailbone slightly and press into the front of the legs. Reach through your toes, get that recruitment through the legs. With the inhale, you're going to open up your chest. You can tuck the tailbone here and only come up the slightest bit, and exhale to lower. You're bending the elbows when you lower down. If your back is okay with it, you can come higher, but you're still stable and reaching through the legs. And on the way down, still aim to press into the front of the legs so there's a gentle difference in your pelvis position on the way down. So you can choose to keep the pelvis neutral, coming up ever so slightly and lowering. Or you could go more for an extension, but on the way down, you tuck your tailbone and press into the front of the legs. So you choose. Inhale and exhale. The legs are very much involved in this exercise.
People who have a strong sense of love and belonging believe they're worthy of it. I believe I am worthy of love and belonging. I believe I am worthy of love and belonging. I believe I am worthy of love and belonging.
When you're ready, float the feet, float the arms in front, relax your shoulders down, draw the armpits down, tuck your tailbone so that your knees are trying to get closer to the ground, and reach forwards and backwards. You're reaching through the crown of the head and the fingertips, but your armpits are drawing down into your obliques. You're reaching back through the ankles. You're also tucking the tailbone slightly. When you're ready, you're going to inhale to lift the arms and the legs, exhale to lower and just tap the floor. You're trying your best to keep the center of the body stable with a slight tuck from your tailbone. Inhale and exhale.
People who have a strong sense of love and belonging believe they're worthy of it. I believe I am worthy of love and belonging. I believe I am worthy of love and belonging.
And when you're ready, you can lower it down. We feel that bit of strength in the back. We'll go for a bigger extension. So the elbows are away from your ribs, so you have a bit of space, but elbows are down. So instead of being up here, shoulder blades flatten against the rib cage. Spread the fingers wide, shoulders down your back, lengthen the neck and reach forward through the crown of the head. Bring the feet nice and close together, tuck your tailbone. Inhale to peel. The elbows can stay down. You could peel the elbows and they stay bent, or you could straighten the elbows fully, and you can adjust how high this is by how close the hands are to your body or how far away they are, so you adjust. Inhale on the way up, reach back through the legs. Exhale on the way down and your elbows go down onto the floor.
Connection is why we're here. It gives our life meaning. I connect to myself to connect to others. In order for connection to happen, we have to allow ourselves to be seen. The courage to be imperfect. 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 The courage to be imperfect.
And you can let it go. Press back onto all fours. Let your back adjust if you need to, just a cat-cow stretch if you like, or even from side to side, whatever suits you. And then whenever you're ready, in your own time, we're going to come to a cross-legged position for our meditation. Grab a pillow, grab a blanket if you like, whatever you need to make yourself comfortable here. Palms up to the ceiling. You could also have your hand or your hands on your heart, whatever helps you to feel relaxed here. Soften your jaw, close your eyes, and breathe deeply.
Allow yourself to rest. Notice the parts of you in contact with and supported by the floor. We fully embrace vulnerability as our source of courage. Believe that what makes you vulnerable makes you beautiful. The willingness to say, I love you first. The willingness to do something where there are no guarantees. The willingness to invest in a relationship that may or may not work out. Fully embrace vulnerability. Believe that what makes you vulnerable makes you beautiful. The willingness to say I love you first. The willingness to do something where there are no guarantees. The willingness to invest in a relationship that may or may not work out. Believe that what makes you vulnerable makes you beautiful. Believe that what makes you vulnerable makes you beautiful.
Take a moment to rest, really rest fully. And whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me for Soul Pilates again. I hope you're feeling amazing. Obviously you can dip into different classes that you love the affirmations from, but there's something great about continuing the classes consecutively and feeling all of the benefits layer and getting maybe a new perspective from a different person that I'm quoting. Thank you so much for joining me. On our next class, I'm going to use affirmations from Tony Robbins. Thank you so much, everybody.